Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to the program Agriculture on the Move. I am Phillip Sydney, your host. Today, we are privileged to have the Minister with responsibility for agriculture, food production, fisheries, cooperatives, and rural development, the Honorable Moses Musa Baptiste. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
A long time.
Very long
I
time.
realize you've been very busy.
Yes.
The program is short. I know there's a lot to discuss. So straight into the nitty-gritty. Mr. Minister, it's 3 years and about almost 3 months since you took office of that important ministry. Give us an overview of where we were and where we are today.
Well, first of all, I must say I'm very happy to be here once again. It's been a while, as you indicated, and I'm very happy to share with you and with our viewers some thoughts, and also to report on some of the activities which we've been so engrossed in over the last 3 years. I also wish to greet all of our farmers, our cooperatives, our producers, our fishers, their families, and all rural people in St. Lucia. I know they have been working very hard to feed their families and to ensure that this economy keeps moving and that our survival in this economy is assured.
Definitely.
I want to say that over the last 3 years we have been interfacing with farmers, fishers, and more recently cooperatives and their members to ensure that first of all the organizations survive, we strengthen the organizations, but also to ensure that assistance is given to the farmers, to the fishers, and to strengthen government policy so that there's an environment for agri-entrepreneurship and that there's an environment for business to continue and to prosper in agriculture and food production. We have succeeded with many of our programs. There are some programs that are still very challenging, and we are working to ensure that we succeed with them. So after 3 years, we have not succeeded with all of our programs, but we are well on our way with many of them, and today is a good time to discuss them. So it is very important, the 30 or so thousand acres of land holdings we have in St. Lucia. We know that about 25,000 acres is really into permanent crops and also crops that are not as permanent. We also know that we have both male and female holders of businesses in agriculture, and we have some very exciting young agri-entrepreneurs who are producing some very exciting products. And St. Lucians, more importantly, are beginning to continuing. They started a little while back, are continuing to eat what we grow to a large extent, and I'm very happy about that.
Eat fresh St. Lucia's best.
Eat fresh St. Lucia's best.
Okay, there is a program which I know is dear to you, is the banana accompanying measures. Can you give us a little idea of where is that program at this juncture?
When we came into office, we found that there were some processes. Some processes did begin some years ago, and those processes started way before 2006 when the last Labour Party government left office. And so when I became minister, the BAM program, what we call the Banana Accompanying Measures, which is a package of incentives and also support to not only banana growers, but also people in agriculture and agri-entrepreneurial activity to transform agriculture in St. Lucia, not only in St. Lucia, but in the banana growing countries. So we have the St. Vincent and Dominica and so on. St. Lucia's program focuses on adaptation. It also focuses on assistance to banana farmers, and assistance to other people in agriculture. I can say to you that we have been working with the National Authorizing Office and also with the European Union, and many of the programs are well on the way. I can report to you that the assistance to the farmers in terms of the refurbishment of some of our facilities, like the Foisson facility, the Angers facility with the cocoa fermentary, and so on. The designs and so on have been looked at by the experts, and discussions are taking place with the European Union for approvals. I can also say that some farmers will receive water tanks, and those farmers, some of the farmers have been selected, but I've asked the ministry to look at the list to make sure that all of the farmers who are selected are farmers who certainly will be able to transform their own situation and production. So we are looking at that again to ensure that we have the farmers who can actually benefit in a very significant way. So some of the activities of the banana accompanying measures have been slow. There have been discussions with the European Union officials. They have guided us, and there's been this to and fro. As you know, those programs with the European Union, we've had a history of some delays because of a number of different issues. But we believe that this calendar year, we will see the benefits, the actual tangible benefits. I'm also very concerned about the roads program.
Yes,
and there are a number of farm roads that will be rehabilitated under the banana accompanying measures. And we know that a local company has been selected, or the contract for the design of those roads. That contract has been awarded to a local company, and that contract was awarded through European Union tendering processes and bidding and so on, and that is ongoing. My information is that the roads will begin this calendar year also. So we've had a number of steps in terms of advancing the benefits of the banana accompanying measures program, but we've also had some delays. We've had some delays with the diagnostic facility, for example. We've had to go back and do the designing and so on, and that has taken us a little more time. So there have been some progress, but we've also had one or two setbacks, and I can assure you that the officers at the ministry and the officers at the NAO office, they are working very hard to ensure that the benefits come to the farmers and to St. Lucia in the quickest possible time.
Great. The other project that is, to me, very close to me personally is the Youth Agri-Entrepreneurial Project. Where is that at this juncture?
The Youth Agri-Entrepreneurial Project is another project which we inherited, and we embraced it because we believe there is scope in this project for the development of agri-entrepreneurs, young people who would eventually own their own businesses in agriculture. As with some of the other projects which we inherited, I've always indicated publicly that not all of the processes which would cause this program to be very successful were in place. And so we had to negotiate with Invest in Lucia to get the lands, for example, for these young people. And we have had to work with other agencies. We've had to work with consultants to get the business plans going for these young people. And we've had to do training. And I know they've been very impatient, and rightly so, because they've been waiting for a long time.
That's correct.
But I continue to say that we want to do this properly, and we would not rush into something. Although we found it, we would not rush into something if we knew that everything was not in place.
Hold that point there. We are moving fast. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. We're due for a break. Back soon.
Do you know what a GMO is?
It's genetically modified organism.
It's a genetically modified organism.
That's absolutely right. A GMO is a plant or animal organism which contains genes taken from a different plant or animal to create a set of desired characteristics. For example, a gene taken from a fish and infused in the cellular membrane of a tomato to create a frost-resistant tomato. The technology is designed to improve the quality of agricultural produce for consumption, but its long-term effects are not known. Join the Ministries of Agriculture and Sustainable Development in implementing the National Biosafety Framework, aimed at providing information on GMOs and LMOs in ensuring that they are used, handled, and transported in a manner that is safe to the environment and human health.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. Mr. Minister, we're talking about the Youth Agri-Entrepreneur Project. I know there were a number of young persons, about 79, that began the first phase, but we are down to about 69 because some of them got frustrated. So tell us exactly what's happening now.
What is happening now, the lands, as I've indicated, in Western Lucia we have an agreement with Western Lucia for a number of parcels of land, and at Beauséjour, at River Doré, and some other areas, the lands have been prepared, and in some cases we have greenhouses that have been erected. We have a situation which has developed in the River Doré area. Yes, as you know, the government has made a decision to expand the current River Doré cemetery, and there needs to be some kind of adjustment. The program will not be moved at all from River Doré, but there needs to be some adjustment in terms of where the greenhouses will be placed. And I know that the youth who are involved in the River Doré situation are very anxious, and we will work with them to ensure that we meet both needs. I'm very happy that the equipment is here, and we have built storage units for the equipment, and the equipment will be utilized also for other programs and to share the programs. So I'm pleased that we've made some significant progress, and the young people should look forward to starting. And I'm happy that the infrastructure is actually on the ground.
Great. The fishery sector. I know recently there were 2 jetties that are going to be constructed. Could you give us an idea of where we're at now?
Well, I'm very pleased to report that the construction phase of the jetties, the construction phase has begun. And if anyone visits Prale or Savans Bay, you will actually see 2 what is called concrete abutments. That's what the engineers call them. And I am reliably informed that a contractor has been awarded a contract to do the timber construction part of the jetty. The final processes for that are on the way now in terms of Ministry of Finance and so on. But I'm very pleased that the jetties have started. I want to say that we are working with the fishers on a number of other areas also. But the most, I think what is very close to the heart of the fishers would be their payments. And the government promised that we are going to put an end to the late payment for fishers. We have not succeeded in putting an end to this problem permanently, but I can say that we have made some progress. Okay. In our discussions with the credit unions, we have the Fish Marketing Corporation has worked with them, but the situation is not adequate because you need some kind of buffer in terms of the financial backing within the credit unions to ensure that the fishers get paid. Some of the fishers get paid on time, but some do not get paid on time still. And that is something that we continue to work on. We are sticking to our manifesto promise that we will put a permanent end to this. Just last week, for example, I'm being reliably informed by the Fish Marketing Corporation that within 3 days, one day we landed 5,000 pounds of fish. By the next day, it went up to 9,000 pounds.
That's growing.
And by the weekend, it was 15,000 pounds of fish, and that is per day. And therefore, it is obviously going to create cash flow problems. And we are working with the Fish Marketing Corporation to ensure that it does not create a big problem. But it is a challenge, and we are not running away from it. We are dealing with it, and we are going to put an end to it.
Great. The livestock sector, where we at now, I know the meat processing facility will be commissioned pretty soon. I know things are in place to ensure that production is going to be there. So give us an update.
The meat processing facility, I can report, I visited the meat processing facility a few days ago, and the electricians were putting the final touches to the electrical panel, which is what we waited for quite a while. And the electricians are there working, making sure that everything is okay, so we can actually do a test run to ensure that the saws are working correctly to ensure that the refrigerators, the chillers and so on are working well. I hasten to add once again that while I've said it publicly, I'll continue to say that there were many changes, there were many adjustments which had to be made to the meat processing facility when we got into office. And I wish to thank the engineers and the officials who worked with us on that, the Food and Agriculture Organization, and everyone who put their shoulders to the wheel to ensure that we did what we had to do to deliver the project. I wish on behalf of the people of St. Lucia, on behalf of the government of St. Lucia, to thank the Taiwanese government who provided most of the funds for the construction of the meat processing facility, and also the government of St. Lucia through the Ministry of Finance also provided a hefty sum to ensure that the meat processing facility was completed. I want to say quickly that the government is very concerned about the management of the meat processing facility. We do not want this facility to be a white elephant.
That's right.
And we are going to ensure that we speak to the experts, to the people with that kind of experience to ensure that when we open the meat processing facility, it's open with a management structure and management arrangement that will ensure, or at least give a good shot at its sustainability. We have a report from the Food and Agriculture Organization, and we have studied it and looking at it, and I know the officials of the Ministry of Finance themselves are considering and studying the best approach for the management of this $20 million facility.
Great.
So we are almost at the point where we'll switch on the lights and switch on the saws and the machines, and I'm very happy about this. It took some doing, but I'm very happy we are able to pull it off.
And the farmers are ready to produce?
The farmers are ready to produce, but I don't blame the farmers for being skeptical because you don't want people to go investing heavily and they're not sure of what's happening. So we've been having meetings with the executive of the Pig Farmers Association and also the Small Ruminants Association. Again, I want to thank Invest St. Lucia. There's an arrangement where the Small Ruminants Association have been given a home at Beauséjour.
That's right.
And anybody who goes to Beauséjour will see this area where we had this dairy farm. There's some fencing there now, and it now belongs to the Small Ruminant Association. They have new breeds of sheep and goat from Australia, and the sheep and goats are already in St. Lucia. They've been there for a few months, and they will shift to the Beauséjour area. We are also we will be announcing in the budget in more detail, but I can give you a little snippet here, that we have been fortunate to have received funding or approval for funding for a major livestock project which will happen at Beauséjour. And this we will talk about a little more in the budget.
Definitely. The Black Sigatoka Management Unit, Bananas, is not dead. Of course, we keep moving. Give us an update on that too.
The Black Sigatoka Management Unit, over the last 2 years, the officers have been working very hard. I wish to thank Mr. Sydney and all of the officers, and also with assistance from the French government through CIRAD, and the Taiwanese government came on board during last year to give us assistance, and also the government of St. Lucia. We have been supporting the farmers with the purchase of the oils and chemicals. We've also at one time supported them with fertilizers. But even more importantly, a lot of work has been done in terms of the efficiency of the farmer. How can we increase the ton per acre?
That's right.
And how can we increase quality? Because the report from Winfresh continues to indicate over the last few months that we have some quality problems. And the management of Black Sigatoka is a lot about chemicals and so on, but also about proper cultural practices.
Hold that point again. You are watching Agriculture on the Move. We're due for another break. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
Smart choices when you shop lead to happy, healthy families when you eat. Always choose fresh local fruits and vegetables from producers you can trust, packed with all of nature's nutrients, fresh from your local farmer. St. Lucia's fruit and vegetable producers meet every government standard for health and safety with fresh local food products straight from the ground to your plate. When you choose St. Lucian grown produce at your local grocers, you choose a healthy lifestyle for your entire family.
For my vocal, I eat local. What's in my dish? Green fig and saltfish. Buy fresh, eat fresh. Yeah!
St. Lucia's farms produce an abundance of fresh quality fruits, vegetables, and ground provisions, highly nutritious and incredibly tasty. Eating right together when it's most important. Healthy families, buy fresh, eat fresh.
Welcome back to the program. Mr. Minister, the school feeding program, a lot was looked at. I know a lot has been put into it. It's in full gear now. Tell us what's happening.
Well, I wish to thank, first of all, the Ministry of Education for allowing us to partner with them in the way that we've done. As you know, the Ministry of Education has been responsible for the school feeding program for many, many years. Mm-hmm. What we have done is to approach the Food and Agriculture Organization and also the Brazilian government mm-hmm. to ask them to allow us to use some of the models that they've been assisting other countries with and they've been using in their own countries mm-hmm. to improve our own school feeding program. And so what we're doing around St. Lucia is we've selected 13 schools in the first instance, and we are assisting with greenhouses, shed houses, planting material, and also methodologies. And we have been seeing improvements. Mm-hmm. School children are, going back to growing crops and healthy food, and this comes with training of cooks and so on, mm-hmm. improvement to kitchens, physical improvements, and also what is so important about this model that we are developing in St. Lucia is that the local private sector, the traditional private sector, business people, banks and so on, mm-hmm. are coming on board in droves. And right. I wish publicly to thank all of them on behalf of the government. They're coming on board even without us asking them to join this effort to improve the school feeding program in St. Lucia. It's going well. We recently got an indication from the Australian government that they too want to partner, and that work is going well. I wish to thank the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, mm-hmm. Social Transformation, and the chair of the coordinating committee, Ms. Sunita Daniel, for all of their work. Mm-hmm. We believe it's important for food security, and we believe it's important for healthy eating. Yes, right. And as we know from the Minister of Health continues to lament that healthy eating is actually part of the key to our economic growth and economic recovery. Mm-hmm. So we will continue with that. I also wish to say that we want to continue to stress our work with the land bank in St. Lucia. We are working on this, and very soon a statement will be made in terms of how we will start this. Mm-hmm. We have received confirmation and endorsement from the Food and Agriculture Organization to get experts to assist us with a model to improve what we believe should be an agricultural land bank. Mm-hmm. And so what we are doing right now is to hold discussions with our local agencies, mm-hmm. Crown Lands Department and so on, to see how we can start, even before the FAO comes with the expert, what we can do to start. And we believe that there are very good signals, and I believe that by budget time, mm-hmm. we should be able to at least have an announcement about the land bank.
Okay. The incentive programs, I know there was something passed in Parliament where farmers now, and also fishers, who don't live on the fishers, have access to bringing in, the fishing gear and other equipment for agriculture. Can you give us an update on that?
The Incentives Act is many individuals have applied for incentives under the Incentives, Agricultural and Fisheries Incentives Act regime. Mm-hmm. And many individuals and businesses, I dare say, have received incentives since the act was passed. Mm-hmm. I'm very pleased to see what is happening. We have processors, we have traditional farmers and fishers who have applied for incentives. In the first few months, it was a little challenging because you had some delays and the whole process and so on was a little delayed. But what we have discovered is that as a result of the requirements of the Agricultural and Fisheries Incentives Act, we are now collecting data and information that we never had before. We are now, because people who apply need to now indicate to us how many individuals they are employing, whether they are employing people on part-time and full-time basis, whether they are paying the NIS to the people who they employ, and all of those. So the Agriculture and Fisheries Incentives Act is also helping the development of agriculture in ways that people never thought we would develop. So the farmers themselves are now realizing even more that they are true business people. And if they employ people, they must pay the NIS. And when they apply for incentives, we need to know those things. And so it is creating a ripple effect in the farming and fisher and cooperative community that is causing us slowly to be even more business-like in what we do. People must show the profit and loss, the business plan, and so on.
Right.
And when we started, people were saying that's difficult and why we have to do all of this. But now more and more people are coming on board. We give them the assistance, and I'm very pleased that it's working. So far in the budget, I will give an indication of the value of incentives we've given so far and what that value of incentives mean for production and for the economy and itself.
In the Ministry of Agriculture, we work in conjunction with the Ministry of Health as far as trying to get people to eat what is grown locally, to consume what is grown locally for health reasons. Okay, the program is called Eat Fresh and Lucia's Best. We also are we're looking at the CMOS to incorporate that into the diets of St. Lucians too. Where is that project at this point?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate yourself and Mr. Lacobinier and Miss Amanda and the radio station and everybody who's involved in this project. The project has received tremendous support from the public, and I listen to the radio programs and people are calling to ask, and the Facebook page and so on.
Yes.
Very, very good. I want to say that the intention to incorporate CMOS into our work in a bigger way is really proving successful. We see more people being employed as a result of the improvement in the CMOS project. The Prale CMOS farmers are serious about the processing plant. We have given them some assistance and we're looking to give them some more assistance. The CMOS farmers at Savants Bay in the Piro area are also doing well, and we're looking to give them some more assistance. And we see some individuals who are not CMOS farmers but who are processors coming on board with their labeling and so on. And this is providing additional employment in the agricultural and fisheries sector, and it's providing fishers and their families and other young people new avenues for employment.
Great.
And we believe it's doing well, and we are going to continue to give them support.
In 1 minute, can you give us a synopsis of what have been discussed today?
Well, generally, I believe the agriculture and fisheries and cooperative sector is moving in the right direction. We have some challenges which we have to overcome. And I believe over the last 3 years, we have been able to take whatever projects we got in, when we came in and to improve on them and to do them properly, to do them right, to ensure that we have the right procedures, the right processes. The new programs that we've introduced, especially the food security programs, are doing well, and we are hoping to improve on them. And we are looking in the rest of the term to have a new 20-year plan, because the last plan was from 2009 to 2014, and we are looking to have consultations all around St. Lucia to have a brand new agriculture, fisheries, and cooperative sector plan moving into the next 2 decades.
Mr. Minister, I want to thank you for being here. I know your time schedule is you're a very busy person, but I want to thank you for being here to tell St. Lucia where we are today as far as the programs in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries, Cooperatives and Rural Development. You've been watching Agriculture on the Move. I'd like you to tune in again next week. I want to thank you for viewing. And of course, remember, agriculture is our business. And remember to eat fresh, St. Lucia's best. I'm Phillip Sydney saying goodbye and see you again.
Thank you.
Minister. Thank you.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.